All right, so what do we wish to talk about this evening? Actually, in the reflections of the world, there are many different things that are changing. There are many foundations that are being uprooted, and there are many dynamics of reality that are almost crumbling into dust. And at the same time, there are any number of new positive things that are going on during any given day if you are just willing to pay attention or maybe even look a little bit for them because they're not totally apparent because it's energetically a time period where many people are experiencing a cathartic energetic dynamic that's bringing up. We've spoken of this with you over the past few weeks. It's that whole dynamic of the things that you are going to face, the internal dynamics that you have not dealt with, are coming up in a kind of natural evacuation. Well, let's call it what it's closest to. It's pretty much an evacuation. It's not quite projectile diarrhea, but you can see it from there. In other words, well, but energetically, it's almost that sort of dynamic. It's like, you look at the dynamic of Barry, for example. We talked to Barry last week, and Barry was fine, and everything was good, and she was feeling very mellow. But then she comes on tonight, and her reality has just, bitten her, not big, but bitten her in the ass, just to remind her that she's not completely done. And so that's the whole dynamic with all of you. You've got vestiges of the energetic dynamics, and it's reflecting in your outward world. It's reflecting in your politics. It's reflecting in the relationships between your countries, and it's reflecting in your relationships, especially of those of you that have close family relationships. So they are, what shall we say? Even though there's a great deal of love, and right now we're in a great deal of love kind of energy, there's still an underlying irritation, still an underlying dynamic of, I should be feeling good. My life is actually so much better than so many of the others in the world. Why am I depressed? Well, you expect us to answer that too, don't you? But, for each of you, it's a different reason. For each of you, you have different life lessons. Each of you, you had different experiences in your childhood, and you're having different experiences in your young adult and your adulthood. So now, as you are facing a new world, as the dynamic of energy is changing, you pretty much got this dynamic of spring up until April. You're going to have a certain measure of stability in your world, um, and if you can. Those of you that are a little smarter and really wish to you see, the dynamic is we can say, you know, buy some crypto, buy some silver, buy a little, we can tell you to do that, but you don't have to, because the dynamic is that what you all know about is community. And you will be surprised at how that will serve you in the future. And, right now, it looks like energetically things are going to be relatively stable up until around April, maybe mid-April. And again, as things are moving and changing very rapidly, as it's almost week by week, it's almost wave after wave of different energy. And you understand that those waves of energy are not going to stop, and that they are intended to be cathartic. They are intended to move you through the dynamics, so that if you remember that the ultimate goal is happiness, you might